So the laws of leadership, the first law of leadership says, if you don't believe the messenger, you won't believe the message. How true is that?
That's very true.
Very true. Okay? Second law of leadership, do what you say you're going to do.
Practice what you preach.
Practice what you preach, okay? I like that he said that. And just like the example that I used earlier is do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be that person to stop the job, or you're going to do this, or you're going to take that nap, just do it. Regardless if there's conflict or somebody calls you names or this and that, you're worthless, or hey, they don't talk to you, they get mad, they can get over it. We can get over it. How many of you have ever been that person where somebody's called you names and you, whatever, man, I don't care. I got better things to be. A lot of us, right? At the end of the day.
Most people get over it on either side. Most, but there's some that don't.
Some that don't, but eventually it may take them a week or 2 weeks, but they're going to get over it. Doing what you say you're going to do. Looking out for each other. Yes, sir.
I think there's a lot of ways to communicate. Like, think about sign language, for example. Like, you see a driver setting up all their stuff. You see that's communicating. Oh, well, he's doing it. I'm gonna do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like setting up the ground in the truck. Like, oh, I'm gonna put my ground on my truck.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of ways to communicate. Other than just talking to somebody. I think as far as being a leader, it's also like leading by example. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna set up all of my stuff that I have to set up. And hopefully the other person will like, oh, okay, well, he's doing it. I'm gonna follow it too. And so I think there's a lot of ways to like, to communicate.
Monkey see, monkey do, right?
That's all visual.
It's all visual, right? Good deal. And even if he doesn't do it, you should have the courage to go say, hey, look, man, I'm doing this and that. Why don't you do it? Get him into that question. Hey, why don't you do it? Look, this can happen. This could happen. Having that courage to be that leader.
Not only that, you'll know that's part of the job as well. And supervisors are out there, so
Yeah.
if you do, you do. You don't, you don't. That's your business.
Yeah, that's your business. That goes back to that safety and efficiency as well. Yep. What's wrong with this picture?
They're clean.
They're clean? Okay. Oh, he's a little dirty. Look. He's got a little dirt.
You got 3 of them in oxygen masks and one standing there. He ain't got nothing on.
The supervisor, maybe?
Yep.
You think that's okay for him to be there like that?
No.
Why not?
Well, obviously, if
He's got 40 years experience.
they've got oxygen masks, there's obviously some sort of gas that they're worried about. So, he should be wearing it.
He's not wearing the proper PPE for the job.
Good deal. So this is going back to that question. Do you think they were scared to tell him something?
Yeah.
See what I mean? At the end of the day, guys, it don't matter who that dude is. It don't matter.
He's the one taking the risk.
He's the one taking the risk. But if any of those guys didn't tell him anything, who are they going to go after?
Those guys.
They're going to go after those guys, right? Big time. They're going to go after those guys, and when they go after those guys, they're going to say, you seen it, you owned it. Why didn't you own up to it? That's true. That's a true statement right there, right? Like I said, somebody's going to have your back if you say something to them, guys. Doesn't matter. And we're going to do a part of this right here and further down the presentation, okay? But don't matter. I'll tell you a quick story. That guy right there, he reminds me of a driller that I broke out with when I first got onto a drilling rig. I first got onto this drilling rig. That reminds me of that old school guy. We still have that out there. Still a lot of that old school mentality out there. But when I first got onto that drilling rig, it wasn't going up to that drilling rig. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Driller? Hey, this. Hey, you look here, hand. You see them dang tongs right there? You better make them bite or you can't stay. If you don't like it, there's down the road drilling. By the way, you get paid from the neck down. You understand? And I've been called every name in the book. I've been pushed. I've been in arguments. Okay? But this guy was the guy to where he would gather people around to watch somebody get hurt. And I was one of those people. He would sit here and be like, hey, Steven, look, check this out. Hey, Renee, check it out. Look, watch this. Watch. Check it out. Jerry, watch. He'd pull everybody around. We'd get ready to trip out of the hole. And he'd always used to do it to me. Every time. To see if he could get me. And one time he got me. What I would do is you got the drawworks behind you and you got a cat head cable that comes out through your tongs and all that. I used to step over that cable all the time because you had to step over it to get to your front jaw to take the castle nut out and grease it and everything like that. When every time I would step over that, he'd get on his rheostat on that driller's console and he would pop that cable. He'd pop it right between my legs And it was the best thing. It made his day for somebody to get hurt. And everybody would be sitting there, oh man, look at that guy. Ha, 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 look, he got hurt. Man, that is awesome. That guy's an idiot, look. But how cool is this for somebody like that to get hurt? How cool is that?
Horseplay, isn't it?
Horseplay. Back in them days when I first started, it was horseplay.
Form of it.
It was a form of it, but it was a joke. At the end of the day, you used to sit there and watch people get hurt and laugh at them.
Bad ethics.
That's bad ethics. It's not being proactive. You're being reactive. Or that guy should have known that. That's common sense. You should have known that. That's common sense. Guys, don't be that guy right there. Don't be him. At the end of the day, would you want that man working next to you? He'd probably be the guy to make you take shortcuts and do unacceptable things, right? Is that the person that we want to work next to? That's why I use that as an example, guys, and I say that story. Don't be the person that's not going to be that leader and say something and let somebody get somebody hurt. Say something right then and there. Setting the stage. A good leader remembers that the team members are essential to any solutions and listens to what they have to say. How true is that? Is that true, Stephen?
Very true.
Very true, right? Y'all agree?
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, if we don't listen to each other, that's a big flaw in us, right? Because listening goes a long way. Especially when I was working on that drilling rig, that driller told me, you get paid from the neck down. That's it. He never listened to his people, and he never got the results that he wanted. Safety guys would go out there, superintendents would go out there, and they never seen the results that they wanted because he thought he was the whole brains of the operations. Can one person run an operation? You got to listen to your people, guys. Listen to each other. Fill those gaps like we talked about this morning. Somebody read that one for me. Go ahead, Sarah.
Our goal is to create a proactive safety culture, but our culture will always reflect what we each individually do when there is no one watching or when we think there is no one watching.
What word is that? Integrity, right? Integrity. Guys, I encourage you guys to be the person to do it right the first time. Is there time to do it right? There is, right? We said it this morning. We have the responsibility to choose a safe way every time, right? Which includes there's time to do it right. But there's always that one person out there, and I'm not saying it's in this room, okay? But there's always that one person that's always the guy that's always looking over his shoulder. He's always looking over his shoulder. Or there's always the guy out there like that, hey, when's the boss coming? Why? Oh, I got to do this real shortcut real quick. I got to do this. No, he's not going to be here for another 15 minutes. All right, takes a shortcut. There's always that guy that's always looking over his shoulder or trying to do a shortcut. But where I'm getting at is, it's a lot of times when the boss shows up or somebody shows up, they use the code name. There's always that one guy out there looking. Hey, somebody just pulled up. Who is it? It's nobody. It's just a third-party hand. It's nobody. All right, well, keep going. It's good. Keep going. And all of a sudden, here comes the boss's truck. Hey, the Eagle's here. The Eagle's landed. The safety man's with them too. What do you mean the safety's with them? Yeah. And all of a sudden, the roaches start scattering. That roach goes over there. That roach goes over there. The other roach goes somewhere else. And at the end of the day, you're the only person stuck there. Here I come. Hey, what's going on, Kelly? Nothing much, man. He's sitting there nervous, moving his hands, and he's trying to look to see where everybody's at. Why are you here? I'm just making a visit, man. But you don't usually come to, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just decided to make an early visit and all that. Hey, where's your H2S monitor at? I don't have it. Then he's going, here's the JSA. I got the JSA. Look. Nobody signed the JSA. Then all of a sudden, I'm going to start looking around more, right? Hey, where's the rest of your crews at? I think they went to the restroom. You mean they're all in that one porta potty right there? I think so. I don't know. They all said they needed to use the restroom. But at the end of the day, it's already downhill, right? You've already been busted. It should be reversed, right? I should go out there and be like, hey, Kelly, Kelly should be coming to me. Hey, look, my H-Trust monitor is right here. Hey, look, this is my JSA. I got my JSA. Hey, come here. I want to show you this. Look, my truck's grounded. It's bonded. Look at this. I got all this going on. This, that. My other driver's got this. You want to come check it out? Come on. It should be like that, right? Should it be us going out there busting your tails all the time? Just because we wanted to just take an extra 1 minute to take a shortcut? Or just save time? Should it be like that? We should go out there and be able to catch the right things, not the wrong things, right? So at the end of the day, if Sarah goes out there and she sees you doing these things on a daily basis, where do you think the trust level is going to? And when the trust level goes down, what happens then? Nobody's going to trust you guys. So that's why we got to have that integrity to do the right thing when no one's looking. Do it all the time. Okay? So a lot of times just doing one little simple shortcut, just like I was telling Sarah earlier during the break, that trailer up there that exploded, that's a shortcut right there. That's crazy. It can happen just as easy as here, right? Just as easily. So have that integrity. Do the right thing. Tips for asking questions and engaging with people, okay? I'm not going to go over this whole slide real quick, but the one thing I do want to touch on is, like you guys were talking about, is being that safety leader, okay? Be prepared with questions, not answers. Just don't go out there and be like, hey, you know you ain't supposed to be doing this. This is broken. Don't be doing that. Give the person time to answer the question. Let him answer for you, okay? Connect the question to the individual. Ensure the individual is connected. Make sure he's focused with you. At the end of the day, we as humans, we have a lot of personal problems going on in our life too, right? At the end of the day, if I'm out there working with you, would you know something's wrong with me? Probably not, right? Y'all don't know me that well. But would you guys know when there's something wrong with you guys? And if they're pretty clutch, right? And if there's something wrong with you, is it okay to send that man behind the wheel? It's not. Is it okay for him to go to the location and work with not a clear head? Ask that man what's going on. His cat may have died. Who knows? His dog. His mom may have died. Make sure they're in the game, because a lot of times when you send them behind the road, especially in this area, you're risking his safety, but along with everybody else's. Make sure he's connected. Ask open-ended questions. Hey, Renee, why are you doing this job this way? Well, this is how I've been taught. Oh, okay, cool. Who taught you? Simple questions. It ain't got to be no technical question or whatever. Hey, what's the square root of this, and that, the calculation, and you're doing this job to this degree, Newman's law and all this and that. At the end of the day, he's going to be like, hey, forget you. I don't know what you're saying. Make it simple. And give people time to answer and use great body language and tone, right? Because body language goes a long way too, right? It does go a long way. So use proper body language and everything out there. Just like he was saying, it could be a visual thing like you guys were talking about. But the body language can give you a bad sign as well, right? Especially when a guy gets out of his truck, you see him throwing stuff and he's throwing hoses and he's just connecting things. You can be like, hey, that guy right there is having a bad day. You're going to know. What's that one on the very, very bottom saying, that pictogram? Right here.
He who is afraid to ask is ashamed to learn.
How true is that? Very true. Right on the money. I agree. Okay, guys? And words to live by. Leaders who do not listen will be eventually surrounded by people who have nothing to say. Y'all agree? Just like that driller I worked with, right? When the superintendents came, then asked us questions or anything like that, and asked him, like, hey, you know, do you listen to your people? Well, yeah, I listened to him somewhat and all this and that. At the end of the day, he never listened to us. He never got the results that he needed. And leaders, listening is the most important thing that you can do. Just listen to that person. Even if you don't like that person, listen to him. See what's going on with him. Just because you don't like him or whatever, and just to say, for instance, he could have the best idea, right? I'm not going to listen to that guy because I don't like him. Maybe if you listen to him, he can help solve a big problem, right? Hope is not an option, okay, guys? Hope is not a method. You got to think, plan, and act. What do we see right here in this picture? Family, right? We all raised our hands in here. A majority of us have family in here, okay? A lot of us do. What's that thing on the top say, Stephen?
It's depending on you to come home.
Someone's depending on you to go home, right? And a lot of times I say this in the class too. People think, ain't nobody depending on me to come home. I work for myself. I ain't got a family. I don't even got a dog. I call BS on that, guys. Because if you're that person in here, I'm not saying you guys are, but that person, if you're that person, that man that's working next to you, he's dependent on you to send you home just as he's dependent on you to send him home. There's always somebody dependent on you to go home in one piece. Always. You guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. What's that one in the red say? Very bottom.
We need to go from I think to I know.
We need to go from I think to I know. That's powerful right there. That's very powerful. If we go from I think to I know, we're doing what's above that, right? We're focusing, we're communicating our standards, we're providing positive feedback, and we're providing safety sections. We're doing all that, right? Guys, I'm going to get personal on this slide here in a second. I'm going to tell you why. But if I do a job or I give you a hand over a truck, whatever it may be, and I tell you, hey, I think everything's going good. I don't think I heard anything. I think everything's pretty good. I think it's got a half a tank. I'm pretty sure truck's running fire and everything like that. What are y'all going to think then?
You don't know.
I don't know, right? Would you take my word for it? What would you do after that?
Not take your word for it anymore.
Not take my word for it anymore? What'd you say, sir?
Check.
Check it? Good deal. He's going to check it. He's going to validate it and verify it. I can go home now?
Do what you want to
Do what I want to do?
do. Yeah.
I was hoping he would say that. At the end of the day, he shouldn't do that.
Right.
What should he do?
Ask you what's up.
Ask me what's up. No, not even that. Hey, real quick, man. I know you want to go home, brother. But you mind checking this stuff with me real quick? Let's check it out. Take me with that person. That way we can validate and verify it together. That way you can teach me. Because if he lets me go home, he's just slapping me on the wrist. If you guys are letting that person do that or go home or not validating and verifying them, you're just slapping them on the wrist every time. Setting the next man up for failure. Because the next man may be like, all right, cool, man. I believe you. Goes down the roads and goes off and has a rollover. You see how important that is, that we need to go from I think to I know? It's very important out there, guys. Very important. It's the end of I want you guys real quick, just for a brief second, I want you all to look at each other. Just look at each other real quick in this room. So everybody kind of laughed. Okay? I want to ask not Renee, what's your name? Arturo? Again, sorry. Would you want to call Renee's family and say he's not coming home? Has anybody had to call somebody and say, Daddy's not coming home?
It ain't fun.
Does anybody want to do it?
No.
Guys, I can't tell you and stress enough to where if we don't go from I think to I know, that's what we're working to go towards. To put somebody in the ground or send somebody to the hospital. And at the end of the day, none of you guys in here deserve to go home hurt or even go home in a coffin or a body bag. So a lot of times when we just go from I think or I know or I'm pretty sure, those things ain't sure things. And for sure, if we're not being in that complacent mode or being like that, that's what we're asking to do. I don't wish anybody in this room to call each other's family and say, Daddy's not coming home. Daddy can't go see a baby born because Daddy's dead. None of you guys deserve that. You guys deserve to go home and take care of your families. They depend on you. They depend on you to go from I think to I know. Would you guys take a shortcut with your kids standing next to you? Then why take the shortcut at all? Ask yourselves that. Because that's reality right there, guys. No one realizes how far stop work authority goes when you don't use it or you don't apply it or you don't stand up and say something. The worst one I ever had to do is I had a man fall 80 feet from a derrick to his death on Christmas Eve. Wife went into labor the next day on Christmas. And I had to say, Daddy's not going to make it. Daddy's getting in an ambulance right now in a body bag. And I had to go to the funeral and say bye. None of you guys deserve that at all. None of you guys deserve to go in a hospital and get screamed at because you let somebody get hurt. I've been there. It's not fun, guys. Look at my son, he's hurt. His leg's cut off. Look at my son, he's burned. That's what we're asking for if we don't go from I think to I know. We need to go from I think to I know out there, guys. That way you know you're going to get home to your families and be able to care for them for the rest of their lives and all that. Okay, and I'm sorry to get personal, but I want that to hit home. Because at the end of the day, we got to go home safe. We got to take care of our families, and we got to take care of each other in this room. Because you guys are important in here. Y'all agree?
Yes, sir.
So why should I get involved? People are valuable. Create an environment where people are willing to get involved, okay? This is what I want to go back. Me and Steven had a conversation just kind of during the break, but I want to talk about this because he was kind of right. And I do talk about this already, but I want to give him that credit because he brought this up. And the gentleman back there about attitude, okay? Is that if you have a bad environment out there, people got bad attitudes, or they're just negative, or there's bad morale, you think that's a healthy environment?
No.
What do you think the risk is doing?
Straight up.
It's going straight up, right? To where, let's say if I'm working for, what was your name? Jesus. If I'm working for Jesus and all I hear about is good things about Jesus, man, Jesus, you know, he's always out there looking at this. He has good safety meetings, this, and that. Man, he's just on top of his game. What's the risk doing then?
Minimizing.
It's minimizing, right? Big time. So that's why we want to create those environments. Establish a mindset where risk is inherited and perceived. Just because I don't think something can hurt me doesn't mean it won't hurt me, right? You got to always look at things that way. Just because I don't think this table can't hurt me doesn't mean it won't, okay? And the bottom one, just because we're coastal plains, does that mean we just look out for coastal plains?
Nope.
No.
Who do we look out for? Everybody. Because at the end of the day, they're just trying to make a living as well too, right?
Yes.
Trying to make a living and go home. And we got to send them home in one piece too. Is PPE the last line or the first line of defense? The first? The last? I got a first, I got a last. You think it's the first? Okay. I'm going to give you guys that said that it's the first. Okay. It is in a perspective, the first line of defense. In a perspective. Okay. Because you know you should have this stuff on already. You know you should have it out there. Okay. But I'm going to use this laptop and chair for an example. I have all my PPE on and everything like that, but that's the hazard right there. Okay. If I don't eliminate it, the hazard's still there, right? I could still get hurt with all my PPE on, right? I can. If I don't substitute it, maybe put something in place to eliminate it or whatever, I can still get hurt, right? If I don't put an engineering control or something, a device, maybe hit a button, the chair goes down, I walk over a bridge, that's good enough too, right? Or if I don't put a policy or a procedure in place, you know, maybe, hey, when you see a chair, walk around it. See how that works? PPE is your last line of defense, guys. The biggest defense is you should eliminate it, substitute it, put an engineering control, or put something in place. Okay? So this is our proactive versus reactive events, okay? What is proactive?
Prevent things before it happens.
Prevent things before it happens. What is reactive?
Take care of it after the fact.
It already happened, right? It's already done. So looking at this line right here, the only two things I want y'all to pay attention to is the blue line and the brown line. Some may look orange, but it's brown. The blue line is the proactive rate. The brown line is the reactive rate. What do you think if this brown line crossed that blue line? What do you think we're doing? We're being reactive, right?
Yes.
You think people are going home in one piece?
No.
We're hurting people, right?
Yes.
And is that cool to do?
No.
It's not, right? But you see how we're on top of it? The proactiveness is on top of the reactive. That's where we want to be, right?
Yes.
We want this line to continue to grow, and we want this line to continue to drop, right? You see how that works? The numbers don't lie. I don't want to go into numbers with you, but if we were to pull this up and look at a bunch of stuff, you can see all the proactive stuff that we're reporting to prevent the reactive stuff from happening, okay? So this is the next video, guys. I want y'all to watch this next video, okay? That's a bad deal right there, right? Very bad. What'd y'all see in that video besides an idiot?
Equipment that didn't work.
Huh?
Equipment that didn't work.
Equipment that didn't work?
He wasn't trained to handle failure.
He wasn't trained to handle a failure? Okay? You think he was hoping nothing was going to happen? You think he was running on hopes and assumptions? Complacency. You think when he pulled it over, he was like, I don't think nothing's going to happen, or I'm assuming nothing's going to happen. You think he was in that mentality? Big time, right? What was he so comfortable doing? Looking down the barrel?
He's done it before.
He's done it before.
Nobody stopped.
Nobody stopped him. What I'm getting at is that when you get complacent or you get comfortable or you run on hopes or assumptions and luck, a lot of times safety and everything else goes out one ear and out the other. You're not thinking about either of those because you're so comfortable. Don't get comfortable out there, guys. So a lot of times that's what happens. When you get comfortable, nothing goes and you're not thinking about anything. Be on top of it. Stay focused. If you get to you're feeling that you're complacent, stop, step back, reset your gears and get focused, okay? So our focus programs, okay? Let's go into these real quick. We're going to go through these real briefly, guys. We're more than halfway through this, okay? We're going to ease up through this and we're going to be done before you know it, okay? So this next part is a lot of participation for these focus programs, okay? So the first program is the WARS program. They're in your tally books. Follow along in your tally books with me, please. So the WARS program right here is the rules of engagement, okay? So about this program, it was developed for our contractors and individuals working for us for a personal commitment in your heart to make this a personal commitment of safety. Okay? When you're looking through these, what is the thing that you see in common?
Always.
Always. What else?
Never.
Never. I will always and I will never, right? That's what it has in common in there. Because to make it personal, it has to be I, right? You as an individual, it has to be I. But guys, I encourage you guys to make this as a personal commitment and instill it as more as a value into what you already are with safety, okay? Put it in there as more of a value to your safety and especially for yourself and for your families or the guy working next to you, okay? This is a personal commitment. There's a signature where you could sign at the bottom. Make that commitment to yourself that you're going to do these things that are on there. Make it a value and hold it to your heart, okay, guys? Just don't make it a priority. This is a commitment that we want you to do for yourselves, okay? And a couple of these that are in there that stick out to me is number one, I will always make safety a value, not just a priority. Is safety a value? Yes. It is, right? A lot of times people think it's a priority, but a lot of times we as humans, we have a lot of priorities, and can our priorities switch around? To where safety could be number one, but all of a sudden safety goes down to number 10, goes down to number 20, or it can come back up. You see how that works? But if it's a value, it's always there. No matter what, it's always there. I will always be willing to get involved when I see something unsafe going on around me. Okay, that's a commitment that I've made to myself as well a long time ago, even before I was with EOG. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have already made that commitment as well. and not even knowing that half of these things that are on there, you guys probably already do them. But use this program to your knowledge. Use it in your tailgate meetings. Use it in yourselves. Use it at home, wherever you got to use it, okay? Because this can be used at home or wherever you're at all the time, right? So use this program and instill it as a value. The next process is the locks. The scope of action that can cause potential and cause injury, okay? This is the engagement part to this program right here, okay? When looking at these, we already probably do most of these on a day-to-day basis and not even know it, right? We look around, we obtain information, we communicate, we know solutions, and we serve a purpose. But a process is that we probably don't do is we don't ask, why are we doing it this way? Or what could happen to you? Or how could we do it differently? Those are probably the three questions that we don't do. We just go out there, look around, hey, don't do this, and hey, this is wrong, and okay, cool, let's go back to our business. Am I right? Yeah. A lot of times that's what we do. So we got the first steps down, but it's the three important questions that I want you guys to remember on this, okay? It's why are we doing it this way? What could happen to you? How can we do it differently? And serve a purpose. Walk away knowing that your interaction made a difference, okay? We're going to look for the hazards already, like we said. We're going to obtain the information to what's going on. We're going to communicate what we see hazardous and all that. Does every engagement or interaction have to be a negative deal? It could be positive as well, right? And I want to use an example in here, okay? What was your name, bud, in the blue shirt right here? Daniel? Dan? Yeah. So Dan, if I'm doing something unsafe, and let's just say we're going to use this process right here. Just say I'm working on a PTO pump. It's got a guard and stuff on there and all that. And let's just say, for instance, I didn't take the right steps to, make sure it's shut off and all this and that, okay? I'm giving you the scenario. So I'm working on this pump. What are you going to tell me when you see me doing something on there? What do you want to do?
Have you check and make sure it's turned off and it's ready to be worked on.
But I've always done it this way. I see everybody else do it like that.
You need to be careful because you can get hurt or hurt somebody else.
Well, who am I going to hurt? I mean, nobody's around. I mean, besides me and you.
Well, maybe the next person happens to come along and use the equipment.
Okay, yeah, I can. Yeah, you're right there. I can agree with you there. So what do we need to do?
Ask him what he's doing.
Ask me what I'm doing?
What is he working on?
Okay. Well, I'm changing out this, we're going to pretend it has a belt. I'm changing out this belt on here.
Making sure you're doing it the right way.
The right way? What could happen to me?
Fingers can get caught or it can turn on by itself.
It could turn on by itself? Okay. You see where I'm getting at, guys? This program right here, this engagement part, is to get the person to think about what they're doing wrong, and how could they do it differently. The three important questions, like I said. You guys already do these steps, but just add the three questions on there. Why are we doing it this way? What could happen to you? And how could we do it differently? Okay? The keys, knowledge empowers your safety, okay? Which are these. The locks. And for each one of these locks, there's a key. But looking at these, how many of these do you work around or do on a day-to-day basis?
The majority of them.
All except two.
All of them except two? Which ones are they?
Well, the ones that we don't do,
The ones that you don't do.
I think tripping pipe and digging,
Digging? Okay. And what are the ones that you guys do?
using hand tools,
Using hand tools?
I guess traveling by foot,
Okay.
manual handling,
Okay.
mechanical lift. Well, that'll be a third one I guess we don't use.
Okay.
Working with pressure,
Okay.
working with heights, operating on a motor vehicle and working around mobile vehicles.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. You guys agree with them? Is that what you guys do?
Yes.
Okay. So the locks, a lot of these things we already do on a day-to-day basis, but these are things that we've seen as trends to normal activities we do on a day-to-day basis. These are things that we see where people have gotten hurt, there's been a catastrophic near miss, or something's happened while doing these tasks. A lot of these tasks that we do is pretty much consistent with what we do in the oil and gas industry. Y'all agree? Yeah. A lot of this is what we do already. But these are things that we see trending that are hurting people or stuff is happening on a day-to-day basis. So let's go over a couple of them on using hand tools. Somebody read me a couple of them. Go ahead in the Led Zeppelin.
Remove all jewelry and obtain the proper hand, eye, and face protection before starting tests. Choose the safest tool for the test and only use the tool for its intended purpose.
Okay. Somebody else. Go ahead, Stephen.
Inspect tools before each use and remove damaged tools from service.
Okay. How about somebody by the door right here? Read me a couple of those.
Identify pinpoints and only place hands in designated areas.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Always cut away from the body and avoid using knives as a hand tool.
Good deal. Using knives for hand tools. They're out there. How about you, bud? Read me a couple of them.
Verify the work is secure and will not unexpectedly move during task. Avoid mixing manual hand tools with high torque rotating equipment.
Okay. How about you in the very back, right there, where the laser's pointing? Yeah, you.
Avoid mixing manual hand tools with high torque rotating equipment.
Okay.
Maintain an 8 feet buffer zone while hammering and clear area if flying debris is a hazard.
Okay. Good deal. So we're not going to read the rest of them, but the one that reading these is good to get familiar with, okay, guys? Because a lot of these that were on here is stuff to where these things right here can get you hurt, right? When you're looking at them, not doing these things can get you hurt. So the part of the key process is to spark conversation to how to prevent these things, okay? So remove all jewelry, okay? Why do you want to remove all jewelry? Well, because it can get caught in electrics, or it can get caught in something, it can get snagged in something, or it could what's the other one I was thinking of? It can do there you go. It can compress you or keep you trapped or anything like that, okay? Just to spark that conversation. And maintain an 8-inch buffer zone when you're hammering. Why do we want to do that? Because shards of metal can fly off, or hey, the line of fire, you can get hit by the hammer, whatever it may be. That's what these things are doing, to spark conversation, to get you to think of what you're doing out there, to be proactive and write more things down or talk about more things, okay? Traveling by foot. We don't have to read any of these, but some of these are pretty much things of what we're doing. The one that I do want to talk to you about is that I think it's the craziest thing. A lot of people don't like to put these things down. They get out of the truck, they be sitting there doing that, and just be walking, and all of a sudden, pow! They fall down, rolled ankle, or they hit their head on something and all that. Guys, put the phone down. Instagram, Facebook, phone call, listen to the personal emergency, that stuff could wait in the truck. So a lot of times, that's a hazard in itself. I see people in cities and all that walking across the streets, not even looking both ways. Oh my God. That's some crazy stuff. And the other thing, use your 3 points of contact, making sure you got a good travel path and all that when you're walking and everything, okay? Manual handling. How many backs do we get? One back, right? If you mess that back up, is it messed up for life? Pretty much is, right? It's pretty messed up. The one I want to stress on here is ask for help. If it's too heavy, ask for help. If it's too heavy for 2 people or 3 people, get something alternative in there to help you lift, a forklift, a crane, something else to help you lift it, okay? A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to be called names, or I don't want to be called, I'd rather y'all be called names than sitting in a hospital because you got a pulled disc or you got a hurt back just because you wanted to be a macho man. Ask for help, okay? Mechanical lifting, you said no. Tripping pipe, you said no. Working with pressure. What kind of pressure y'all going to be working with?
High and low.
High and low? Okay. From where?
From tanks to transferring oil.
When transferring oil?
The load lines,
The load lines? What's the max pressure you see on there?
33, 34, something like that.
34 PSI and all that?
Somewhere around
I got
there.
you.
Most of the time.
Most of the time?
I think I saw 180 on the bed line on the line.
That's probably the safe working pressure that it can hold is 180 PSI. Okay, but that's good that you noticed that. That's what that's for. So just going over the pressure a little bit. We're not going to read all of them, but the ones that I do want to put on there is always assume that there's pressure on the line. What I mean by that is assume that there's pressure and then to assure that there is no pressure until it's locked out and bled out properly, okay? That's what it says right there. Assume all equipment is pressurized until isolation and pressure release has been confirmed, okay? And establish a 50-foot minimum buffer zone around pumping or hydro testing operations or any type of other high pressure operations, okay? I know you guys don't work with the serious of high pressure, 34 or 40 maybe like that. Still, that could still come back and bite you or hurt you as well, okay? Verify that fittings and pipings are rated to handle the working pressure, okay? Making sure you got the right hoses, the connections, threaded, whatever that needs to be in there. Make sure they're the right connections and all, okay? Don't cross-thread things in there or whatever it got to be. Working from heights, okay? If it can't support a car, it's probably not going to support you, okay? Making sure you got a good tie-off point and all that. Do you guys do a lot of climbing?
We thief engage sometimes.
Only what?
We're supposed to thief engage some of the tanks, the older tanks.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, but we don't really use anything. We just go out there and
Just on the stairs and just kind of open a hatch and look. So you really don't use like belts or anything? Okay, good deal. If you're going to be on an area that's unprotected, I suggest you have the right type of fall protection and everything like that. But if you don't have any of that or you don't do any of that, don't climb at all, okay, guys? But if you're going to do anything, use some of this to help you reference in climbing from heights or working from heights, okay, guys? I won't go into any detail since we don't do a lot of it. Operating a motor vehicle, I'm not going to go over that one. We're going to watch a video at the very end. Working with around flammable vapors, okay? Let's read a couple of those.
Use proper monitoring equipment when the potential flammable vapors exist. Know the wind direction and evaluate work site for flammable vapors and remove potential ignition sources.
Okay. How about somebody over here? Read me a couple of them. Go ahead, Renee.
Maintain grounding protection to mobile equipment. Contain hydrocarbons.
Hydrocarbons. Good deal, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Somebody read me another one. Go ahead, Gustavo.
Use explosion-proof equipment in classified areas.
Okay. Make sure it's explosion-proof. Making sure it's not an ignition source. Okay, that's what that's meaning. You got a camera, a cell phone, making sure it's in an explosion-proof cover and all that. Making sure it's rated not to be a spark or anything like that to cause an ignition fire or an explosion, whatever it may be, okay? Wear and maintain FR clothing. Recognize that smoking is only allowed on designated areas, not where you're going to be smoking around a flammable or hydrocarbons, okay? Maintain a 75-foot minimum buffer zone from venting sources with heat or spark-producing equipment, okay? 75 feet. If you can get more than 75 feet, get 100 if you can, okay? But if you're within 60 feet, you need to get 75 feet, okay? Making sure that there's no types of potential or ignition sources. Maintain that 75 feet. Digging, you're not going to be doing any digging. I'm not going to brief on that slide nor this slide. Let's go over the expectations, guys. And then we'll wrap it up. Sound like a plan? All right. What's the first one say? Kelly?
Checking with EOG representative to review current operations and hazards.
Okay. Just make sure you check in with whoever's on location. If there's somebody for EOG, whatever, just let them know that you're there, okay? I know a lot of times you guys probably just drive in and on and offload and drive right off, okay? There may not be anybody there, okay? But if there's somebody there or whatever that you don't know, make sure you check in with them, okay? What's the next one say, Arturo?
Understand your job function and have all required equipment to complete the test.
Pretty point blank, right? Make sure you understand what you're going to be doing and have the equipment that you need in place. What's the next one say, Renee?
Be properly trained to complete this design work.
Good deal. Just be trained at what you're going to do, right? Be trained. What was your name, man?
Robin.
Robin, can you read me the next one, please?
Verify you have all required PPE for your task.
What's all PPE that you need?
Shoes, gloves,
hard hat, H2S monitor, steel toe boots.
Okay, earplugs if needed as well, or anything additional for the job, right? That's needed. What's the next one say, Sarah?
Complete, communicate, and have all available pre-job, or have available all pre-job planning documents.
What's she mean with that one? JSAs. confined space, permit to work, any pre-job truck inspection list, whatever you guys require to do, make sure you have it in place, okay? No smoking unless an area has been designated by an EOG representative, okay? Most of the time, you guys are going to see no smoking signs here, or you guys are going to know where to smoke and all that, okay? Just make sure you follow those rules and don't be smoking around all that stuff. You guys know that, okay? Obey lease roads and location speed limits. You guys done a lot of work for us, right? Done a lot of transportation. Which ones are our 2 strictest ranches? Starts with the B. The Brunson. The Brunson and the Link VJ ranches, okay? Make sure you follow the speed limits on them roads. They are set up, what they do now is they got cameras and stuff out there and they're taking pictures. They're taking pictures of the company logos. They're getting DOT numbers off the side of the trucks. They're getting license plates numbers. They're taking pictures, and what they do is they send this information to EOG, and they'll say, okay, EOG is going to call Sarah, or they'll call somebody in operations, and they'll say, who was driving this truck last? Oh, that was Arturo. Oh, okay, good deal. Me and Arturo are going to have a talk. Hey, Arturo, you can't go into any of these sites. You're banned.
And I know they ban you for 10 miles over. 10 miles over the speed limit. 5 miles over, you'll get a citation issued by them, but you'll pay for it by your pocket.
Yep. And sometimes they don't even want to pay. They want you to pay a ticket. They just want you banned. Okay? Don't be that person that's just going to get banned. Okay? Follow the speed limits. Follow the lease roads. And not just on those 2 ranches. Follow it everywhere. Okay? Follow it everywhere. And the next 3, I will sum up in one sentence. 100% reporting. If you trip and fall and it don't do anything to you, just dust your shoulders off, we want to know about it. Something severe, we want to know about it. 100% reporting. If you're sick or you get vomiting or whatever it is, we want to know about it. 100% reporting. If it's not nothing you did and you witnessed something happen, report it. We want to know about it. Okay? We want to know about all hazards and near misses. Does everybody know what a near miss is in here is? Yes. What is it?
Like that guy in the video.
Something almost happened, right?
That guy's brain blew out.
Yeah, that's a near miss. Something happened. In order for a near miss to happen, something's got to happen, okay? And hazards or near misses, like I said, we want to know about hazards. If you guys got a good hazard, let us know about it. We want to share it with other people. That way we can continue to be proactive. If we have a hazard on our location or somewhere, we want to be able to fix it as well. Let us know about it, okay? And openly communicate with personnel that are performing work around you, okay? Be respectful, communicate, be on the same page. That way everybody goes home the same way they came to work, okay? Sound like a plan? Sure. Awesome. Facebook. Not saying you can't have a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or anything like that. That's okay to have. But we do not want our locations or photos of our locations or anything on Facebook or LinkedIn or anything like that, okay? That's one of the hardest things that we're controlling right now, okay? We have a department, multimedia relations department. They have a people in our Houston-based office that sits there and goes through Facebook, LinkedIn, all that all day just to make sure that there's nothing on there that EOG or anything's on our site being video cameraed or anything like that, okay? They'll catch you. They may not catch you in 2 weeks. They may catch you in 6 months. It may be a year, but they do have people looking at that, okay? You make sure if you're going to do any pictures and all that, get permission. Let somebody throughout EOG know, like, hey, we need some pictures for some diagnostics aids, or hey, we need an incident reenactment pictures, whatever. Let us know. If you get permission, most likely you're going to be able to take it, okay? But most of all, if you're out there by yourself, don't put any on LinkedIn or Facebook or anything like that, okay? Because they will find you. Any questions about this? Everybody understand? Yes, sir. Good deal. Occupational medical providers, this is some people we put up there that we just suggest to use. We're not saying you have to use them. We're just suggesting to use them, okay? American Medical Group and Extreme Med D. These are very great clinics for oil field workers, okay? A lot of times where you go into other places and all that, they like to treat oil field people like they're really trash when that's not the case, okay? So a lot of times they'll say, here's a prescription, get out of my office and you're good to go, whatever it may be. These guys really know what you guys are doing because they're occupational doctor, okay? They study these kind of things. They're going to treat you with the utmost respect and making sure that you're taken care of, okay? They're very both great clinics. The Aero Care process is for traumatic injuries, okay? The guy's having a heart attack. What else is traumatic? A stroke. What'd you say? Amputation. A snake bite. What else? Maybe a hard hit to the chest or a trauma or something to the back or the neck. Foul. Broken or popping out bones or anything like that, okay? Those are traumatic injuries. Guys burned all over, 3rd degree, you know? A lightning strike, electrocution, whatever it may be. Those are traumatic injuries, okay? So with this process, I'm going to simplify it for you, okay? The Aero Care process is pretty much to where if something happens, you're going to call 911, okay? That's a simplified process. They're going to ask you who you are, who you calling about, where you calling from, okay, good deal. And then they're going to ask you, hey, do you have any preferred life flight people that you use? And then you're going to say, yeah, we use Aero Care. Oh, okay, great deal. You got the number and everything? But most of the time, the consultants or somebody in safety is going to have the Aero Care information, okay? It may be posted at the offload. Somebody's going to have that number, okay? So they'll call that number. And once you call the Aero Care number, they're going to ask you a few questions. Hey, are you this person? Yes, I'm Sonny. Okay. Are you the one calling on the EOG location? Yes, that's who I'm calling about. Okay. What is your GPS coordinates? They're going to be like, well, I don't know. Real quick, okay, I'm going to tell you how to do that. If y'all got an iPhone or a smartphone or a Samsung, you can download it in your Play Store. It's called a compass. It doesn't need Wi-Fi or 4G or LTE to work, okay? You get into your phone and the iPhone, you go under extras. The compass is right there. You get the numbers, you give them that latitude and longitude. That's all they need. As soon as you give them that, they're gone. Any questions on that? I know I explained it kind of fast, but I mean, it's pretty simplified, and most of the time, that service is there for us and for you guys as well if something happens, okay? The next video is the last video that we're going to watch. We're going to talk about it. It has to do with driving, guys. It does hit home. Pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, it does hit home, and pay attention to what it has to say and look at the video and ask yourself, is this the person that you want to be when you're driving on these roads, okay?
Today we remember a good man, a loving father, husband, brother, son, and friend.
Say hi, Grandma. All right, wave to the camera. Hey, Grandma. Wave to the camera. Wave to the camera. Come on. That's it. Come on, wave to the camera. Hey, Grandma. Come on, wave to the camera. Come on, bud. Good job. Smile. Smile.
A man who was taken from us too soon. A husband, a father, a man we will never forget.
So real quick on that video, I know it hits home, and we don't want anybody to be like that, okay? So the question that I ask after this video is, if you're going to be the person texting and driving, disregarding the rules of the road, or driving under the influence, or just reckless driving, or just don't care about the road, I ask the question to where go home and say goodbye to your wife and kids and take all your belongings at your house, because that's what you're asking to do at the end of the day. You're gambling with death, especially out here in these roads, okay? And I know you guys put up with a lot of crap out there. People cutting in front of you, people driving reckless, people just doing whatever they got to do to get around you, whatever. I know you guys put up with a lot of crap like that, okay? Dude, slow down, let them pass you. Whatever you got to do to make sure they're safe and you're safe as well, okay? Follow the rules of the road. Don't disregard them. And do what you have to do to make sure that you know you're going to go home safe and that next person that's behind you, whatever, okay, guys? Like I said, there's a lot of traffic out here. There's a lot of traffic, and you guys know how it is on a day-to-day basis, okay? A couple statistics I will share with you guys is that 11% of motor vehicles, incidents, and fatalities occur here in the Permian Basin. 11%. That's high for an area.
11% of the United States.
Yeah, 11% of the motor vehicles fatalities occur here in the Permian Basin. While
In the United States, not Texas.
the whole United States, 11%. That's high. And you guys know why. There's a lot of activity going on out here, okay? And another statistic is 85% of the motor vehicle incidents and fatalities that occur are due to driver error, human error. Okay? I don't have the other statistics, how that is broken down, but I know the one that reckless driving and texting and driving is up there, that consists of that percentage of the 85%. Okay? Is that?
Fatigue.
Yeah, fatigue and stuff like that. And you as an individual are 20% more likely to die in the Permian Basin road than any other road in the United States. That's a fact. Okay? Be careful out there, guys. Drive safe. Pull over. Take a nap. If you're tired, whatever it may be. We could justify you guys being 30 minutes late or being 2 hours late, but we can't justify you guys going home in a body bag because you didn't want to pull over or take a break, or you just didn't want to care about the road. We can't justify things like that. Okay? Any questions? Anything I could do better for this presentation? Did you guys enjoy it? Okay. I'll leave you. If there's not nothing better that I can do or anything with this presentation, thank you guys. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciated doing this for you guys. Thank you for your guys' participation again. But one thing I do want to leave you with is use this information that I taught you guys. Don't walk out this door and just forget about it, okay? We do these for you guys. We just don't do them just to come out here and do them. We do these for you guys. But we really want you to use this information when you walk out that door, because if you just leave it in here, it's no use for you to go out there and just not care about it, okay? Use what you've been learned out here. Use these programs that we talked about, okay? This stuff is for you because we care. We want you to go home the same way you came to work, okay? Sound like a deal? Don't forget this stuff. But that's all I got. I'm done, guys. Appreciate it.